And we are live. Hi, I'm RJ Ogren, Paintings and Stories with RJ Ogren. I'm a former Disney artist, and
Hi.
Suzanne, who also worked at Disney Entertainment, is here with me.
I'm staying out of the shot so you can see Stitch.
If you're not familiar, Suzanne is my wife, and we've co-written some books on Disney. And now that we've done an introduction, and then Matthew Wright is there. Hey,
hello, Matthew, darling.
Yes. Longtime friend. You heard Susie was going to be on. That's the only reason you're watching it.
I want to come see you play priest in Romeo and Juliet. We're going to work that out.
A fellow actor and a great one. He's wonderful. Now that we've totally embarrassed you, to Nadia and Jen and David and Sarah. Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Debbie, Jamie, Lisa. Just everybody's on here. Hi, everybody. Hi. Aaron. Rudy. Rudy Claire. Hey, Rudy. And I'm drinking from my...
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the names.
One of my
on the wrong side.
Peter Pan mugs here today. And Chris Piccione, am I saying that right? First time watching. Gosh, I didn't realize that. Well, hi, Chris. Glad to have you with us. Again, this is, I'm RJ Ogren, if you're new. Chris, you know me from being on Facebook. I'm setting my coffee down, disappearing from the screen, and I'm back.
Stage with too.
You can see we got some fun stuff today, and we do have a sort of a contest thing, but I think you'll all find it, we hope, exciting. Oh, Stitch is so cute. Thank you. Actually, I was going to paint a little bit on Stitch, but you can see all I have is some line work right here on his coat and some highlights on his buttons. And I might still get to that. But anyway, Wanda, you love Stitch. Yay, Stitch is so cute. Good to see you both. Same here. Thank you, Lisa. Okay.
Stitch is being delivered. Well, not delivered. The person is picking it up tomorrow
morning.
Yeah.
And he's actually bringing his dog, which will...
not in payment for the painting. He's just visiting.
Yes, he's coming. The person this is for lives in California. And there's an idiot going down the street.
In his yellow Mustang, which will soon be wrapped around a pole.
Yes. We think he has multiple tickets already. He likes it.
Welcome to our neighborhood.
Yeah. Anyway, but we wanted to start out by mentioning the passing of Richard Girth, who many of you know from being the greeter at the Grand Floridian, and it seemed like he was there forever.
He was actually there from the beginning of the Grand Floridian, really, and he is a Disney legend without being a technical Disney legend. He was such a lovely man and greeted everyone who came through the doors of that hotel. Took thousands of pictures with people, would talk to them about Disney World. He was just an absolute delight and lived into, I'm not exactly sure of his age, but I know he was in his upper 80s the last time I saw him, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago. He just passed away this last week, and he will be so missed. I won't know how to go into the Grand Floridian without having Richard there to say good morning. And he always wore a beautiful white suit and a
I loved what one person said online today was he will be with Walt up in heaven.
Absolutely.
Greeting everybody.
See, I can move and we can still see Stitch.
Yeah, we can still.
I don't want to talk off camera.
We don't want that. You want to see. She's much better looking.
Okay. Well, that was the sad news, to tell you. But we have some happy news. We have a title for our book we're working on that is going to be finished by August, right? End of August?
Yes. That's the plan. And
should be out before the end of this year. And the title of that book is going to be called Imagination and Dreams Are Forever. And it is the third in our series of Walt Disney World books talking about the early years of Walt Disney World. The first two we have, of course, are Together in the Dream and Remembering the Magic, which RJ is coming to show you.
Promo.
Yes. That's the first book, Shining in the Sun. Oh, good.
Right in front of your face.
My face. Thank you. Anyway, this will be not a continuance, but just other stories that we have about that period, and also a little beginning part of it to tell you how Disney World came to be and continued to be built, even though it was Walt's final legacy, and it was what he was so looking forward to working on, and unfortunately passed away before any of the actual building began. So there'll be a little bit about that in the beginning of the book, but then more of our stories together about not just working there, but enjoying ourselves as guests there and enjoying our kids there, and lots of new pictures in the book and all that kind of stuff. So
we might even be able to use the one I just posted a little bit ago of our kids when they were little in Liberty Square with the Revolutionary War soldiers in a ceremony that they used to do all the time, and that's sadly missed. They don't even have the Revolutionary War soldiers anymore.
no, they don't.
So who knows? That might be in there. But anyway, what we're going to do here is we thought it would be really neat because we need a subtitle on the book.
And we can't come up with anything we like.
So we want all of you to see if you can come up with a subtitle for the book.
So remember, the title is Imagination and Dreams Are Forever. And the subtitle has to include, so that people picking up the book know who wrote it and what we're talking about here. It's about the early days of Walt Disney World. It's done by us in a first-person style. And it is celebrating Walt's final legacy in a way. Because we will always think of it as Walt Disney World. Because it was something that was just a dream of his forever, and I always thought it was so sad that he never got to see it.
Right. So the subtitle has to have, like on our first book, Together in a Dream, the subtitle was The Unique Careers of a Husband and Wife in the Early Decades of Walt Disney World. Obviously, we don't want to repeat that, but that's also what we're writing about again. So you can use that as a guideline. Together in a Dream, I just see Debbie just asked. This was the first one. You can see them on Amazon, published by Theme Park Press. Suzanne's name is on there too. There, she's first. Then we did Remembering the Magic, which was the second book, and that's actually a photo I took of the castle. And this one, though, we did not have a subtitle on. Now, we haven't gotten the person to do the foreword yet. The first one was done, the foreword was by Alice Davis, Mark Davis's wife, and Alice is a Disney legend. And this was done by Beth Bergeron, who a lot of you know from the famous days of the Diamond Horseshoe Review. He was the magician and comedian in the show, and he actually co-wrote that show. Very good friends of ours. And
but I did also, you gave them a little bit of an idea of where to go for a subtitle, and I gave them the three things it had to include.
So we're going to write this out and post it. But that's a neat thing. We dreamed it and we did it. They play in the Walt Disney quoted subtitle. That's good. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. What we want you to do is come up with your idea and message them to me on Facebook Messenger. All right? And whichever.
Do we have a deadline for this?
Fortunately, we've got
3 months.
We've got
Almost
3 months.
Yeah.
This can go on for a couple months. I'll keep reminding you all.
Why don't we make it the end of July?
The end of July. All right. Okay. The one that we pick. Okay, you're all starting to mention stuff, which is great, but think about it and don't publish it on here. I should have said that first.
We're not doing it right now.
Don't take those ideas.
No, don't take them away. We'll write them down. Okay.
But no. But whichever one we pick, and that the publisher will be involved in that, Bob McLean of Theme Park Press, we will acknowledge you in either the
Well, either in the introduction or the
Introduction or the
acknowledgments, whichever
acknowledgments.
Bob thinks it should be.
I'd like to do in the introduction, and we'll see what Bob says, but I think that would probably work best.
And you will also receive a first edition copy of the book
Signed.
and signed by us to you. So
Yes.
just a little fun
there.
thing to do. We thought you all might want to be part of the last of the trilogy of our Walt Disney World books. So we're looking forward to lots of really neat ideas that, you know.
Yeah.
We came up with things that were kind of there, but we just kept not being happy with it. We loved the title, but the subtitle just wasn't working. And he said, why don't we let our followers have input in this? So that's what we came up with. So have fun with that.
So I hope that sounds good to you all. It should be a lot of fun. And that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Now,
next.
Next.
He has a long list today. I hope we're going to get through this in an hour.
I actually probably will get to paint a little bit too. But I did finish, of course, the Animal Kingdom painting, and the safari, and the 6 members of the family that I had 6 separate photos of them.
It's actually
to put them in the truck.
UPS'd on its way to wherever it's going.
West Virginia. And they'll receive it on Tuesday, and they're all excited. I hope so. They've seen pictures of it, as all of you have. But I did post a picture of that, and then also one I did for Jack Hanna back in 1973. I thought it was 73. Yeah,
no, it
74.
was later than that because Sean
74.
was born.
Yeah, it was 74.
75, I think.
Well,
anyway, in the mid-70s, he did this painting.
It was, and a little explanation there why I did that. Central Florida Zoo, which is a small but lovely zoo on some very nice grounds now.
In Sanford.
In Sanford. The original zoo back then was an acre of land in the middle of downtown Sanford, and with chain link all the way around it. It was bizarre, and it was taken over by a corporation that was formed. And Jack Hanna was, of course, very young and new to the whole business. He had a degree in marketing, and they brought him in to...
Well, he had been at the Knoxville
Yeah,
Zoo,
he had been at the Knoxville Zoo.
Working PR at the Knoxville
And they brought him in to run the zoo and raise money to build the new zoo. And I don't remember how we met, but Suzanne ended up as one of the zookeepers, which was great. And I was on the board of directors with Jack Hanna, and Jack and I, in fact, spent time...
I know how we met, but it's immaterial to the story.
Going into the different enclosures of the animals and actually taking photos. I was taking photos of them for marketing purposes. And who was the other guy that was there? That was there?
Stan Brock.
Stan Brock of Wild Kingdom.
He had been on a TV show called Wild Kingdom back in the 60s.
Yeah, he was the guy who would jump out of helicopters and tackle animals in the swamp to save them.
But he ran barefoot across the state of Florida to raise money for this zoo. He was an incredible nature crazy man. But Jack was a very fun guy to work with. He really was.
Yeah.
And we used to laugh because there were certain animals Jack was afraid of. I probably shouldn't say that, but he was back then. I don't think he is anymore. Oh. He's been around them a lot of years now, and he doesn't have those kind of fears, I hope.
So anyway, Jack asked me to do that painting. Jack Hanna. And Stan Brock, like you said, ran across the state barefoot to raise money. And Stan and his girlfriend lived on the property of the new zoo in a trailer, and they had a full-grown Bengal tiger in there.
That he had raised from a cub.
It's called Woofy. And Woofy ended up in the zoo because it was just too big for the trailer. Anyway, I could actually go up and scratch Woofy's back.
But you should tell them that the painting that you displayed today for Jack was one that they used for raising money, and it was kind of the trademark of the zoo.
Yeah. And Tim is saying, hello from Disneyland Paris. We all hate you.
Oh, yes. And if you're in Paris today, I hate you even more.
You and Angela, what are you doing? Jeez.
These people that get to travel, all we ever do is work. I don't know, not doing this right.
So that's
anyway.
That's some of the Jack Anna story.
Okay.
And
we already talked about the kids.
Yes.
And the Square thing.
Mentioning Suzanne's blog.
Yes, which I haven't written yet today because it's been kind of crazy here. But
yes.
But no, I do want to ask, though, because I had brought this up, I think on here the last time I was on, but also in my blog itself, that I love to know that people are reading it, but I also know what they think of it. I want to know what else you'd like to see me write about. You know, don't go to sleep. And if you are sending comments, I am not getting them. So if you would messenger on RJ's site, if you say, well, I do that all the time, I never heard from her. And if you haven't commented, please do.
Yeah.
I really want to know that somebody's reading this besides my best friend and our relatives, you know. So.
And yes, so she'll mention about the contest we're having
yes,
for the
I will.
subtitle of our new
today,
book,
actually.
our third book in the series. And if you've just joined in, again, or if you're new, I'm RJ, and this is Suzanne Ogren. And we go back and look at the beginning of this again, and I'm going to be posting the parameters for this little contest for people to come up with a subtitle. When you have an idea, send it to me on Facebook Messenger. I love Facebook Messenger because you can actually talk in real time. It's a lot easier.
Plus, it doesn't go out to the entire world of Facebook.
Yes, and when the book is published in the end of the end of the year here, you will be acknowledged if we pick your idea or your phrase.
You'll see your name in print.
It'll be in the book.
Yeah.
I love Stitch, says Brian. Yes.
Lots of people do.
Senya, I love being part of you. Oh, that's nice. So now, I have new eyes.
Well, some of them you have new eyes.
I mean, it's a great way to look at it. Well, look at it this way. No, I'm
okay,
sorry.
that was bad.
Couldn't resist.
Just think, I have to live with this all the time. Okay.
Now, and some people ask, they said, contact me, says, I'm supposed to get cataract surgery. And I have to admit, I was a little nervous going into the first time. I did my right eye first. And that was a few weeks ago, and it turned out to be actually very nice, if you can call a surgery nice.
Well, he had a very nice-looking female doctor, surgeon who did it.
Well, I couldn't look at her during surgery because all I saw was dark and colored lights, which I thought were really cool. But Susie had to put drops in my eyes for days in the right eye before the surgery, and then she's still putting drops in that eye. We're almost at the end of those. And then she had to start putting drops in this eye last week for the surgery on this, which was this past Monday. And now she's putting more drops. It might be easier
for a lot of people, but with our crazy schedules, we're always going, oh, dear God, we were supposed to put drops in your eyes 2 hours ago.
It's 4 times a day. And it's really funny because we laugh about it because I hardly ever had to put any kind of eye drops in my eyes for years. And I always ask her to do it because I would keep closing my eye. When I'd see the drop coming toward my eye, I'd go like this. We both start laughing. You'd end up putting 5 or 6 drops trying to get it
running down his face
all over
because
the place. I didn't have to take a shower.
But he doesn't do that anymore now. He's very good.
Well, Brian, that's nice. Thank you guys for sharing all of your life with us. Thank you. That's nice. It's fun. But I have to tell you, it's great because within a matter of a day or two, my vision got really good, and now my vision is 20/20 in both eyes for distance. And I said, okay, so do I have to get glasses, prescriptions for close-up reading? And they says, oh, no, just go buy some reader glasses. And Suzanne had an extra pair, and I put them on. Yes, I went, oh, my God, it's so cool. And the neat thing is now, when I'm doing the video, I don't have to put glasses on because I can sit this far away, and I can actually read it. Stan, recovering from eye surgery from March still. I had a torn retina, and I'm still taking 16 drops a day. Oh, God, I am so sorry. Wow. Is everything going okay, Stan? 16 drops a day. Wow. Let's see.
See, you can't complain now. You only have...
I guess I'm taking 16 a day. Well, yeah, 12 a day, something like that. But I'll be able to stop in another couple of weeks. Well, I hope everything's going okay.
Well, I have to say, in support of the VA hospital that my husband goes to here in it's Hines Hospital in Chicago.
It's the really good one.
The really good one, which is right next to Loyola Medical Center. So a lot of their residents work at the VA hospital, and his surgeon was actually one of these residents. He's getting ready to graduate her residency.
Yeah, this week.
But the care that he gets there, and the attention and the detail, and making sure that you don't go home not understanding what you need to do when you get there. I mean, it's just from beginning to end, they are just fantastic people.
Yes,
and
they're the ones that have taken care of my post-traumatic stress and depression. They've been fabulous.
Not to mention your arthritis and your shrapnel and all kinds of. He has too many things.
And my eye surgeon, Dr. Hunt, if you happen to be watching this or going to, hi, and thank you so much. I can see.
What I'm happy about, and this, probably wouldn't be too exciting to anyone but me, but I always remember when I first started dating him, and we won't say how long ago that was.
It was 3 years ago.
That's good. And I always loved his pale blue, beautiful eyes. And they were kind of fading, and I thought that was just, age. He's getting old. His eyes are not as blue as they used to be. And when he had the first surgery done, I was putting drops in his eyes probably the second day in, and I said, "Oh my God!" And he went, "What? What's wrong?" "No, nothing's wrong. I just realized your beautiful right eye is back." And now they match, which is great.
After she puts a drop in, she goes, "Look here." I'm going, "What are you doing?" And Stan, I'm sorry to hear it's taking slow to recover for your vision.
We'll think positive thoughts for you.
Yes. Everybody think really good thoughts for Stan.
And actually, I found out that on Monday, when my husband had his second surgery, that a friend of mine that I worked with at Disney and Entertainment, Steve Taylor, who did so many things at Disney I can't even begin to tell you as far as performing. But anyway, he had the exact same surgery on Monday, and I haven't had a chance to message him and find out how he's doing. But I hope
he was
it went
in
well.
Characters.
Oh, he was the first dream finder at Epcot, among other things.
Yeah. So Dreamfinder and I had our cataract surgery the same day.
Anyway, enough about your eyes. All right, moving on.
We've had other crazy things happening.
Oh, dear God. Like having a man that just had cataract surgery wasn't enough in my life. We have our 22-year-old grandson living with us right now, who is very helpful and wonderful, but being 22, it's like a daily, what is the drama today, So
he's great. He's great.
He's wonderful. I love him. He has a great sense of humor, and he's, like I said, extremely helpful. He's employed, so, we're not supporting him. But that adds to the busyness of our days. And then we suddenly, about 3 weeks ago, I think, started having ants in our house. Our lovely house that we haven't been in for a year yet.
We were under attack.
Yes, we were. We would spray them one place and they'd go somewhere else. And then they were in the pantry. And then they were everywhere. And then our grandson came and said, now they're in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, dear God. So we did get someone here finally on Saturday to deal with that issue. At the same time, we had another repair person here because our air conditioning died. And if you know anything about the Midwest, you don't want to be without air conditioning in the middle of the summer.
Fortunately, we are enjoying a cool week and a half.
Yes.
But
we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's not going to be 100 degrees by next week.
They totally, the guy that sold us the house actually also is in redoes. He has a company. They go in and refurbish homes and everything. And so this home is built in 1902. It's a fabulous house, beautifully done. But they did something I found out from the AC.
That is something all builders do, apparently. But
yeah, they put a new AC unit outside, but they don't bother to redo the lines going inside the house into the basement and into the condenser and the coils and everything else. So we had some days, like 3 or 4 in a row, it was 90, 92, and we realized it wasn't blowing cold air, and it turned out it was totally frozen, the lines and the condenser, and the air conditioner can't even be charged now, so we can't use it at all.
So we're going to be buying extra fans for the summer.
And the owner, for closing on the house, had to, he was required to put a 1-year warranty on everything. But so he bought the cheapest one, and it doesn't cover
this.
So it'll cost us $1,500, which I have a feeling is going to be next
year,
spring before we. No trips next year.
No. The air conditioner.
And you all thought we were independently wealthy.
Oh, God, no. Never be a writer or an artist if you want to make money.
No,
but
you do it because
you can sure have a lot of fun.
That's right.
We've always said that, and actually our kids reinforced it when they grew up and said they would never have changed anything about our lives. Because it is an up and down kind of life, and you're at the mercy of air conditioners and cars that die and, different things. But we wouldn't change it for anything. Not for, being a millionaire might be nice, but, it's not something I've
keep trying to
aspired
win
to be,
we'll be
maybe it's because we're just both such crazy people.
Yes. 53 years in September.
September, yes.
Wow. And we knew each other before that, too. So.
Yes.
And we're still. Ding.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, so that was it, and the ants, which we got taken care of because we called in a service.
And the eyes.
Yes, and my eyes, and sometimes we weren't sure which thing we were doing because it all ran together. It was crazy around here.
Yes, it was.
And then I was trying to paint, and of course, for the first couple days after each eye surgery, I had to wear. You saw the picture of me with the patch over my eye, which I could sort of see through, but it was all blurry. It made it very hard to paint. So anyway, I was glad to get the painting done of the safari and sent on its way. Jameson will be here.
And they were very patient.
Yeah, from California in the morning to pick up Stitch. And in fact, he's bringing his dog. Jameson, what'd I say?
I think you said Jason.
Oh, Jameson.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so our dogs will be playing together. His dog.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, our dog is so old, I don't think she would even try to bite him or anything.
And then I'm doing a stretch painting, which I'll start on Monday, and then I'm doing Headless Horseman. I'm doing a wedding picture in front of the castle, and I'm doing one that's multiple characters, all in sepia tones. So it's just one right after another. And as a reminder, because I just got another inquiry about paintings for Christmas, I am booked into August.
Oh,
actually,
August now,
yes. So if you are thinking of something for a gift for any event, but especially for the holidays, don't wait too long. I'm here. Message me on Facebook.
Well, and he makes it a
excuse me.
He makes it a rule, if it's a rule. I don't know what it is, but anyway, he does not work in December because Christmas for us is a big deal. It goes on from Thanksgiving until my birthday in January. So anything you want done, he has to finish it by the end of November.
Well, thank you, Stan. It's awesome. I have so many bookings. Yeah, I'm so pleased and thrilled. I love doing these paintings.
Especially since we have to buy a new air conditioner now. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's just kind of focused on my brain this week.
My paintings don't cost $1,500. Anyway, what else?
What else? You're done? You went through the whole list?
I don't know. We were talking so fast.
Oh, yeah, you did the multiple characters.
Yeah, look at that.
I got all that.
A little piece of paper here.
I did mention my blog, but I didn't tell you what the blog site is. Can you put that on Messenger so that
we're done with that.
People that hello?
Oh, yes.
People that are not familiar with my blog, can you put the blog address on the site
I'll
so
put
they
it
can?
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I will be doing one later today. I try to do one every Friday, either before he does this or after. Today it will be after because, like we said, this week has been crazy. But
so, like I said too, I will post the ideas, parameters for the subtitle on our book that we'll be finishing up with on the end of August.
Yes.
And see if any of you can come up with a subtitle for it, and You'll receive a copy of the book when it's published later in the year.
Personally autographed.
And an acknowledgement in the book, so your name will be in the book.
Just a fun little thing for you guys to do other than watch him paint. Are you going to paint now? I mean, I can go away and you can paint.
Yes, I'm gonna paint on Stitch. I'm actually going to paint.
Goodness, you got through all that in 30 minutes? Well, I don't know how you did that.
It's because I talk so slowly. And we're not working on a playwright at the moment with Bard and the Birds. Shakespeare play, the next one.
Next one is As You Like It, which opens toward the end of September. But I am not, I don't know what I'm doing. There's supposed to be a production meeting in the next week or so, but I'm not directing. We have a guest director, and my son is going to help him, and we don't need 3 directors. So I'll probably be involved in it in some way or another, and I'm sure RJ will be doing some sort
You're wondering what's on my shirt?
Some sort of scenic thing.
What?
I'm talking here.
It's Jiminy Cricket.
They can't see my shirt either. It's actually a Magic Kingdom shirt. Well, see, he did it now, so now, no, see, you can't see it.
There it is.
There it is.
It glows in blacklight.
It glows in blacklight, and it says the Magic Kingdom on it. Anyway, are we done with the shirts now?
Yes, we're done with the shirts. Oh, and in the background, you can see Susie's novel, Ribbons. We would appreciate any of you that have read our books, and if you would go on Amazon and do a review of our books.
And if you haven't read our books, please buy them, because our publisher needs the money. No.
you read our books, or we will come after you.
Theme Park Press, when we were approached to do the first book for them, he only had about 40 books, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
He has almost 250 now on Theme Park Press.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful site to go on. Just go to themeparkpress.com and you can just have a field day looking at all the different books by Disney legends, by all kinds of things about history of Disney, trivia of Disney, people that have worked in different areas, Imagineers. I mean, it's fantastic. I just have fun going and looking at all of it. And there were a couple by people that I actually worked with at Disney, Tom Nabby and
the Disney legends,
and Sully Sullivan.
Sully Sullivan,
he was my boss. But so Theme Park Press is doing well, but you know, writers always need people to buy more books. Okay, people look at it and go, "Oh, that's cool. I should get that someday," you know, or "That sounds neat." But please go to Theme Park Press and purchase.
Hey, this is your chance. You know that Suzanne, if you don't know, was a monorail pilot, and then she was in characters, mostly as Sleepy the Dwarf. So if you have a question about characters, now's your chance.
I was going to leave.
Larry says, "Hi, RJ." Susie, I kept you from going away. Because the minute you get up and go, somebody will ask a question about characters. Do they still call them the Zoo Crew?
I have no idea. I assume they called us that. That's all we care about. I mean, we have a closed Facebook site just for us.
Yeah.
And it's called Zoo Crew Entertainment. So, but yeah, we used to have shirts that actually said that on it, Zoo Crew. And I still have some of those. I wear them as night shirts.
Yeah. So.
But the Zoo Crew was very small and fun back then, because it was just, there was the Magic Kingdom, and we did parades, we did sets with all the guests, we did shows on the big stage in front of the castle, we did promotional things, we did publicity shots. I actually got to go, a lot of this is in our books, if you read them. I actually got to go to Miami once for 3 days and film a commercial for Eastern Airlines, which at that time was the airline of Walt Disney World.
Yes.
And
the director became famous.
The director became famous. His name is Ridley Scott, but he was working for an advertising agency in New York when I did that in the 70s. So that was kind of cool. But we got to do all kinds of things, and it was an intimate group of people who all knew each other, since there was only one theme park at that time, the Magic Kingdom, and only 2 hotels, the Polynesian and the Contemporary. And so there weren't a lot of us, you know, and we still keep in touch. We still have reunions about every 5 years.
Yeah.
And we now we have the Facebook site, which is great because we can keep in touch with each other. And all of us have gone on to, a lot of people have done professional pursuits, singing. One has got an award-winning film out right now, who used to be one of the craziest people on the planet when he was young. His name is Bobby Casso, and he's got, I can't think of the name of his movie right now, he's going to kill me. But it has won awards at indie festivals, and he directed and produced, and he's very excited about how well it's been received. And just, I've always told people, if you were a character back then in that group of people that all saw each other on a daily basis, I mean, we all went our separate ways to perform, but we also did parades together, and so we did get to see each other during the day. But there is a special bond with people that you work with in that way that just never dies. And we have memories that nobody else can share. And it's just a wonderful camaraderie that I love to revisit on a daily basis.
I see, Jamie, you wrote, you should go on a huge book tour and come back to Florida. We would love to if somebody wanted to
sponsor it. Yes,
yes. Because Theme Park Press is not
it's a small
major
indie publisher.
Yeah. You know, like you have. Major publishers will pay for these book tours and stuff for big writers. And it can become very costly. That's why we've had to do guest speaking and book signings mostly in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah. We did one last year in Virginia, in the town where we lived for 10 years, and we lost money doing it.
Yeah, we actually sold quite a
we had
few
friends
books
that wanted us to come and do it, and we thought, oh, well, we haven't seen the town since we moved away, so we'll go stay there for a couple of days. And
hi, Debbie.
We had a good time, but we didn't make any money, so, and we had to rent a car and buy books to take with us. And
you got to pay for a place to stay, so
yeah.
It becomes very expensive to do and difficult because of that. As much as we would love to do it, believe me, we'd love to go on a tour all the way around the United States. So if you know of a multimillionaire who has an extra
who wants to be our mentor,
$250,000 laying around, which so we can fix our air conditioner and go on a book tour.
And leave our grandson here with a dog. Anyway, sorry.
So, okay. Well, I actually am going to paint a little bit on,
okay. Well, I can't help you there.
Stitch.
So. And I've already put drops in your eyes, so I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go write my blog, actually, while he finishes up here.
Yes, I'm going to scoot.
I love doing this with him, but, you'd get bored if both of us did it all the time. So I don't know when I'll be back. I guess when we decide the winner of the subtitle thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like having that.
And I'm exciid to be reading what you guys
really
come
nice
up with. It's going to be fun and probably a problem for us to pick one.
Then we'll have to put them all out and say, okay, everybody pick one.
Yes, vote on the one you... No, we won't do that. No. I promise. No, we won't do that. Because that will be kind of Bob McLean's decision, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, our publishers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a dear, lovely man.
Yes.
Okay.
So
bye-bye from me. Have fun watching him
paint
Stitch, and I'll see you soon. Please, enter the contest. It'll be fun.
Now she has to try to get out of here.
Yes, I do, because you've got this pushed up to the max here. Wait a minute.
Push the chair out of the way. And
I can do this.
Pull you in closer to Stitch.
I will go past the very large gorilla sitting here, and you can explain that one.
You want? I do have a gorilla. So it's a gorilla of my dreams. But I'm bummed. So anyway, don't go away. I'm coming right back into the frame here. That works good. And for those of you who are just joining in, I've had cataract surgery now on both eyes, and my vision is great. And I actually only need reader glasses for reading. And actually, when I'm this far away from the laptop, I can actually read what you're saying. I don't have to put glasses and get that weird reflection of my eyes, which are weird enough. So I'm using a #1 brush right now. And excuse me. What I did with Stitch here is Jameson wanted Stitch in the Haunted Mansion outfit. So that's what he's in. He sent me a picture of Stitch, some other thing, and of course I made some changes to it and stuff to make it mine. And I have to, here we go. I have to put some line work in some other spots to, for one, right here between his eye and his nose, so that you can see that there is a nose there. and also I have his buttons he's got on his vest and on his jacket. And once on his vest, I'm going to use I have a light blue that I mixed. If you're new to my shows, I use these cups. These are Glad cups I'm actually using here, which are great to store paint in. And I can go for a few days and come back and the paint's still good. If anything, I have to add a little water to it to thin it down, but works really, really well. And so I'm going to use a little bit lighter color on this right here. There we go. And then, oh, right, I was going to highlight, not that one, the ones on the vest. And I'm just putting a little half arc on the top and the left side. See how that changes that? And don't go away. It's kind of a weird setup because I had to fix this so Suzanne could be here with me. And let's see, I'm going to take this same green that I have here and mix a little bit of the light blue to get just a little bit lighter color of green. And that's what I'm going to use on the buttons on his coat and do the same thing. Just a little half arcs around the top and left side. And we can't see the buttons on that side. So, wow, look at that. And actually, I'm surprised I actually have time to paint. Let me look real quick. See, oh, no more. Nobody. Oh, there's some. What are you all saying? Anybody? No, just more people join. Hey, hi, Kaylee, Barb, Dan, Serena, Priscilla. See, I can read it now. I don't have to put glasses on. Yay, cataract surgery. I had such a fear that I got to tell you this first. Years ago, after I left Disney, and this was like in the late 80s, early 90s, I was doing wall murals for people's homes and businesses in Florida, in Orlando. While Suzanne was still working at Disney, I was designing and doing some stage show set pieces for Disney still. And also, of course, I was doing paintings. And I was doing renderings for architects of buildings, what the buildings would look like when they were built. So I was doing all kinds of stuff. And one of the things I was doing was photography. And you ready for this? I actually was doing weddings and also making the wedding cakes. See, way too much stuff. Don't ask me for a wedding cake. They take a lot of time to do. And so anyway, but I was, a dentist hired me to take pictures of his office and him and his staff, and also operating on an eye of this patient, and it was cataract surgery. And the only thing I can remember now is that in one room there were like 3 or 4 patients all sitting there leaning back in chairs. And if I remember right, swear they actually stuck a needle in the side of their eye to numb it, which they don't do anymore. Don't be frightened. But I thought that's what they were going to do to me, and I went, that's the part I'm not afraid of needles, but in my eye, yes. So they put drops in there instead and numb it with drops. I went, oh, that's so much better. Thank you. And then of course I took photos of the surgery, so I was there. And no, I didn't get squeamish. I'm a veteran. I was in Vietnam, so get used to that stuff. Now I'm going to take some black, and finish this right here. I got to do his lines on his jacket. Now, I keep all these colors in the different cups and stuff, so that also when I go back, if I have to touch up or make a line and it gets a little too wide, I can go back and paint over it. But this is okay. I'm at a weird angle here. Helps if I trace it. No paper towels. Don't go away. Hi. I just happen to have a roll of paper towels. Get that off the brush there. And okay, back to finishing this. This has to come down by the button. So this will curve a little bit down that way. And let's see, across the bottom of the coat here, we have another line. It's actually one of the fun parts about doing a cartoon character is doing the line work as you finish the figure off. So, and I'm holding my breath again. There's a funny story in one of our books about me holding my breath when I do detail painting, and I still do. So, if I stop talking, it's because I'm holding my breath. He's not breathing. Check to see if he's alive. Hi, Lisa. So, all right. Okay, we have that in, and now we can just do his sleeve here. Actually, this is the last of the line work I have to do on him. And of course, obviously, the outfit is a little large for Stitch. So there are rolls of material bunched up. And there he is. Now, I do have a little bit of the dark brown. I don't know if that's showing. Yeah, you can kind of see that. Get a little bit of a reflection here from the window over here. But I've done a background that is a blend. There's brown behind him, and then it blends into black, and then you can see the like a back wall back here. There's the lighter. It's actually a burnt umber, and the whole emphasis here is on the figure. What I'm doing is painting a little bit of the burnt umber and sharpening up the edge of the his claws. So, yeah. Now, 15 minutes. Okay. All right. See, so now I can go in, and now that I've got those colors in there, I can go back now. I can take this pink color, a little bit of blue in it, but I can go down here and fix the line here and clean up things a little bit by a button. I know it's hard to see on there. I'm looking pretty good up there. Okay. At the top of his ears, I realized I had pointed his ears, and they're not pointed. So I have to go with the burnt umber again, right over the top. And of course, right here, you're wondering why that ear looks so weird. Because I reshaped this right here, the way the ear was. So, clean that up. Yeah, that's better. Yay. Let's see, anything else with the burnt umber at the moment? Taking a quick look. No? Okay. I see one more thing here of a little bit of the line work on his, by his ear. There we go. And I'll look at this about 40 times, and each time I do, I'll find something else. Oh, there's another thing. But I'm not going to do that now. All right. So, stitch. So there you go. Any questions, anybody? All right. I'm just checking back. I think everybody. Well, not as many people were on live today. Where are you all? What is this, a holiday? And for those of you, because I know I get about roughly about 600 people that will view this over the next day or two, and I've tried different times of doing it. For me, it works best at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Fridays. I've finished most of my work for the week. Once I do this, I'll go off and I'll put it on the other group sites so people can see it on there, and I put it on YouTube, and that goes from there. And it's great having you all here. I know so many of your names now because you always comment about things that I put on, even the wacky stuff. You saw my flashback Friday, which is supposed to be flashback Thursday. I sometimes lose Thursdays because I get so busy that I realize it's Friday and I haven't done one. I keep saying I'm going to do a flashback Thursday. Some of them are Disney flashbacks. Some are just flashbacks on our other site, on my regular site, which is what we're on right now. And what did I put on the other flashback? I don't know. I'm losing track. I don't know who I am anymore, but I can see. All right. Now, Stitch even has the butler stare down pat. Yeah, actually he does. Yes, that fits. Suzanne, actually, that was that when if you've just joined, Suzanne, my wife, was on the show earlier, and she was in characters. She didn't do Stitch. Stitch wasn't around when she was there. She left in '94. But She did mostly Sleepy the Dwarf, then she did, actually, it's one time or another, she was all the different dwarfs. She was, um, one of her favorites was Smee, because the costume was so much fun to wear and everything, and easier to wear. But, oh, I realized I don't have a line up here. I'm going to go back and paint that line in, because it needs to be there, and it's bothering me. Uh, but her last, she went into entertainment management, Suzanne did, for years, working on conventions and other shows and everything. And then she realized, actually what had happened was they kept reorganizing the office, especially after Eisner came, and moving people around to other offices. And eventually, this entertainment convention people, they ended up moving them like 5 miles toward Orlando, off Disney property. You'd go to the office, and it wasn't like you were at Disney at all. And Suzanne hated it. A lot of people hated that. They put them in cubicles where she used to have an actual office. And her boss had an office still, but he was a manager, and it was like a broom closet, typical Eisner. Um, but so she asked to go back in and work in the attractions as a hostess, and that's what she did. And she worked at Country Bear Jamboree and mostly at the Haunted Mansion. She loved working at the Haunted Mansion as one of the hosts. So yeah, you're going to see this. This is going to change his look a little bit. I almost forgot that. All right. I'll clean that up a little bit. Light blue. Okay. So next Friday, when I'm on, Jody, your daughter's favorite. Yeah, Stitch. Yeah, I love Stitch. He's crazy. Um, oh, Jamie, what am I doing next? Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that. Um, I am doing a stretch room, the ballerina. That is by far the most popular stretch room painting I do. If you've not seen them, I do have them on my Facebook sites. And I'm doing actually a set of 4 for this one person. And so I'm doing the second one now. And I just did, that's right, I just did the ballerina. So I think I'm doing the quicksand next. Yeah, see what I mean? I got to look at my notes. But right after that, and by the end of the week, I should be doing the Headless Horseman on a big canvas, and that's going to be a lot of fun. That's the first request I've had of that. And then I'm doing a wedding scene, or not a scene, but a wedding portrait, so to speak. The bride in the wedding dress and her new husband, and the castle will be behind them. So that'll be a lot of fun, painting the castle again. Um, and then I have a sepia painting to do in sepia tones, and it's involving roughly about 20 Disney characters. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. You'll get to see that. And then I have another stretch room painting, and I have some others lined up. I have some Haunted Mansion paintings. I have the Witch's Apple to do. And I've got just so many fun and crazy paintings. And I want to thank all of you for the commissions. Oh, Stan, here, what do you, it's amazing those 2 little curved lines make him look so much better. But yeah, it's makes a difference. I have to do a little touch up right above one of the lines there. But like I say, the line work is always fun because you're finishing, getting all the colors on the figure and then putting the line work in, and that's when the figure comes to life. So there we have Stitch. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye this week from RJ Ogren and Suzanne Ogren, who was here earlier. Please join in and see if you can come up with a subtitle for our third book in the series. Read our first two books. I'm going to show them real quick again. You can see these are on Theme Park Press site and also on, here's the first one. Nope, this is, get it out of the light. There we go. Together in a Dream, and that is Suzanne. That's the costume Zoo Crew outfit they wore under the costumes back then. It was the dark blue shorts and the t-shirts with the Zoo Crew patch. And of course, I'm painting one of the Crocs in the Jungle Cruise. And there's our follow-up book to that, Remembering the Magic. That is a photo that I took out of the castle a few years ago. And it didn't have the star path on there. And the third book now we're going to be doing, and we have a main title, but we need a subtitle. Also, Suzanne's book or novel, Ribbons, is quite good. Please, if you like to read novels, it's an excellent novel. And my book that I wrote is The Design of Fear. It's about an artist's hauntings and creations from the Haunted Mansion and beyond. Okay, everybody, thank you again for being here. I'm so glad I can see, and I'm sure I'll be conversing with you in some way. And when I hit like, when you say something, especially compliments, like Jenny, you just hit, you said, love it. Thank you so much with a smiley face. I'll hit a like, but what I'm really saying is thank you. It takes too long to keep typing in thank you. They should have a thank you on there. So I'm going to say it now. Thank you all for the lovely comments and for joining me. And I will see you next week working on another painting. Thank you for joining me. I'm RJ Ogren. We'll see you all very soon. Goodbye, and have a